Hey there, Saints. This week we got Kaien Shiba, and so we are going to be going over his lore, his stats, and see what he's all about. Kaien Shiba is the former vice captain of the 13th Division, and also Rukia's direct superior. He is the eldest son of the fallen noble clan, the Shiba clan, and is the oldest of Kakaku and Ganju. In order to avenge his wife, he fought the hollow that killed her, but was fused with its spirit body in the process and died in battle. Taking advantage of the reach of his Zanpakuto Nejibana, he is a character who excels at mid to close range combat. By using his unique techniques and spiritual pressure technique too, he becomes wrapped in water currents, which increases the damage he inflicts on his opponents, so you'll want to use them aggressively. He also has a variety of easy to use techniques, including counterattack techniques with invincible periods and techniques that can be incorporated into combos, allowing for a solid and honest fighting style, very similar to who Kaien is as a person. He's very earnest, he's very straightforward, he means what he says, he puts his heart on his chest, and well, more on the sleeve, but you know what I mean. But basically, he is a versatile character, and he's also very easy to use, coming in at a 5-star character. And really, he is incredible. When you look at his stats, they're very basic, but check this out. His attack is a 3, speed is a 4, range is a 3, durability a 3, and technique a 2, meaning his techniques aren't too complicated, they're fairly easy to use and very straightforward for the most part. Now, where things get tricky is he's a bruiser, so he's got a balance of speed and power. He's got a fairly high damage output when you use him correctly, and he's got some good pressure tools. He also has some good durability, so overall making him a very balanced character. He's an all-arounder, so to speak, but a bruiser archetype fits him best, I would say. He's got some hard-hitting attacks, while still being able to be mobile enough to chase down the opponents when needed. Bruisers are often a hybrid of power characters who focus on raw damage and rushdown characters who rely on speed and pressure. And so he's a mix of the two because he does have power and he also does have speed along with pressure. So it's just perfect for him, being that he has, water, and so it's like water pressure basically, which is amazing because when we look at his signature move, it's very akin to how he started his battle with Rukia, or Onenyeto, we could say. So while holding down the button, the spear will rotate, and when the button is released, it will stab into the ground and attack the surroundings. This seems to be an all-around attack, so even if you try to get behind him, you may still get hit by it. After activation, the player will be surrounded by water currents, and the duration of the effect will increase depending on the time the spear was rotating. When we look at his water flow state or his water current state, what it says is that by hitting the enemy with the unique technique or your spiritual pressure technique too, the enemy will be trapped in a water current state. In essence, this is basically saying that you are trapping them in your current, you've got a large flow, and now you have more power and pressure. And so during this state, the number of hits from spear attacks will increase, and the damage and guard reduction value will increase. This seems that it might indicate that maybe not all the techniques will increase the damage and guard reduction. If not all of them are spear attacks, I would imagine most of them are, but maybe he's got some keto mixed in there since he is technically Kaien. Also, it may just mean that they're saying for all his techniques, given that he is literally holding the spear, but time will tell. When we look at his spiritual pressure technique 1, reverse wave, it thrusts the spear towards the opponent's feet and then slash upwards to attack. It is effective to take advantage of the invincible period when it is activated and use it to read the opponent's attack and intercept. Essentially, this is a good counterattack. He may have more than one counterattack since the bio mentions something like that, but we have at least one here, and this is more so what I would call a true counterattack, where it's not waiting for the opponent to hit you, you're more so able to hit them and intercept them. However, you'll want to keep in mind that you might be open to gaps here. You might be open to a counterattack of theirs if yours doesn't hit properly. So you'll want to be very careful about just how you're moving and how you're using and setting this up. The good thing is this seems to be the cheap spiritual pressure technique, so you'll be able to bust this out as a counterattack if you need to stay on the aggressive, or if you're just playing defensive. With your spiritual pressure technique 2, Water Break, it is a charge attack while slashing with the spear. If it hits, it will launch a water current attack and be wrapped in the water current for a certain period of time. What this is indicating is that this seems to have a little bit of tracking on it, which is a benefit. I'm wondering though if you can guard this, or if this will also kind of help deplete their guard if someone seems to block it. It seems so if you're in your current water state. In either case, if it hits, it will bring you back into your flow state, which will then allow you to continue the pressure that you had. In your awakening, by increasing the output of the Shikai, Nijibana, its performance has been strengthened. There is no major changes to how it can be used, but it becomes easier to maintain the flow state for a long time. It seems, I would imagine, that let's say if you only get 20 seconds in the flow state at your base, you may get maybe 30 to 40 seconds now in your awakening. So it lets you stay in there for a longer period of time once you've activated your flow state. Just like normal, it is possible to attack with a sense of stability by taking advantage of the reach. So essentially you're going to have a good amount of range, and so you'll feel comfortable being able to attack at a slight distance comparable to, let's say, someone like Zaraki. In essence, when we take all this into consideration, the good thing about him is that he's versatile. When we compare him to someone like, let's say, Zaraki, who specializes in attack and durability, he doesn't have as much speed, so Kaien can use his speed to deal the proper amount of techniques and pressure even someone like Zaraki. Also, by putting himself into the flow state, he can increase his attack output, so therefore he'll be able to match someone even like Zaraki, right? And then also, he's not as fast as someone like Soifon, but he can take more hits and he's got more counterattacks that he can use. So even at a captain class level, he certainly matches up. He's not a, an extremist. He's more so an all-arounder. So he's got a little bit of everything. When you compare it to someone like Soifon, who's an assassin type, or Zaraki, who is a tank type. He is more of a bruiser. He's got a little bit of a different kit, but honestly, one of the best kits, I would say, because he can do a little bit of everything and also still be very aggressive if he wants to. He's also very easy. So all around, he is pretty good. We're going to be seeing him a lot, I assure you. When we look at his lore, it's amazing how they were able to incorporate the sense of how he battles and just how he has such a beautiful and yet powerful attack style. Rukia mentions that she remembers while training with Kaien about how majestic it looks to watch him on the battlefield. He helped Rukia develop her techniques, and so you can see that in his own techniques, and where he has some flashiness, he has some mastery over his Zanpakuto. He's not a beginner, and he's definitely got some good techniques. Overall, Kaien was one of the best lieutenants. He was a role model, and he often helped the Goten 13 as acting captain because Ukitake was often sick. Kaien doesn't get a big spotlight in Bleach as a whole. He is mentioned sporadically here and there, especially towards the beginning, because Byakuya mentions him to Rukia, saying, yes, he does indeed look a lot like Ichigo when Ichigo is on the ground. He's also referenced while Rukia is in imprisonment and she is waiting for her sentencing. And then also the build up towards it, and where at the fight against the Spada 9, Rukia finally realizes that this is in fact Kaien, or at least his body, even though his soul, his spirit, his heart is with her. And it was a very big pivotal moment for Rukia. And so, although I would say I don't believe Kaien to be one of the most popular characters, he is somewhat tied to a Spada 9, so I can absolutely see how he got into the roster. I even had him in my prediction, more so as Annieto. but I understand where this fits into everything. I'm still very hopeful that this is not the last character, so I'm pretty much just waiting for the next video. The Japanese Twitter site did say that we should be getting videos, plural, and I've checked again, they've only released one, and that was a special trailer for Kaien. So I do expect that they'll be releasing more soon, just a matter of when. At the minimum, I'm expecting a launch trailer, but aside from that, everything else is a bonus. For now, let me know what you guys think about Kaien, his moveset, and everything we know about him so far. And also, what are your thoughts now that we've got about under 3 weeks left? So let me know how you guys are feeling, what you guys are thinking, and I will catch you on the next one. This has been your boy Saint Irving. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Peace.